Here we are, Romaine. We are in progress for our eighth episode,
Eight
uh,
of them.
eight of them, of
Wow.
Summer Sessions. And you may not know this about me. Fun fact,
You
eight.
stole that dog?
Okay, you know what? We will get into the dog in a minute. Eight is my lucky number.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's true. I
Well,
don't like to,
congratulations.
I don't like to share a lot about myself, but it
Hmm.
turns out that eight is my lucky number for those of you who
Okay.
are keeping score at home. So this is our eighth episode of the Summer Sessions, our YouTube series. We see you every Tuesday. We'll see you next Tuesday here on our Summer Sessions. As long as summer lasts, we're starting to run out of summer around here,
We
Romaine.
sure are.
We're
We
gonna
sure
start
are.
showing up in hats and scarves. But as Romaine pointed out, I do have a special guest star today,
I see that.
today's episode.
Haven't seen that in a long time, that dog.
So he has a little bit of a story.
Oh,
So
yes, it does.
when we were at the old facility 21 years ago, he was in the lobby. He spent most of his time on top of a grand piano in a performance studio in the lobby. Big glass
Yes.
studio, gorgeous.
Yes.
And people used to love to get pictures with him, whatever. And this was before the merger, obviously. And he was the like stuffed animal mascot. And he
His
was
name
in
is
the lobby.
Mongo.
His name, yes. I mean, I would assume that his name is Sirius because Sirius is the dog star. That's why it's a dog. But they had a contest to name him, and they named him Mongo. So this is the original Mongo from the lobby at Sirius. But I did not take him in case anyone is considering legal action.
True,
I
he did not. He did not take him. I
I
know
am
who
not
stole
right.
him.
I'm not responsible for why Mongo is at my house. So
I mean, a little.
eventually I did it. Obviously, I ended up with him,
Right.
obviously, but
Yeah.
no one has been looking for him or wanted him back. But he is here now.
He
Um,
was kidnapped or dog
he
napped.
was dog napped. Yeah. So
And then a reward was like give me a ransom and I'll give him back, basically.
and then yeah. So when we worked at the old facility, there was another channel, the Martha Stewart channel, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
show on the Martha Stewart channel hosted by Jennifer Hutt and Alexis Stewart, Martha's daughter.
Yes.
And their show was directly across the hallway from our show. And their
Yes.
hours sort of overlapped with our hours. And so we would sometimes do things with their show, like guest on each other's shows and hang out and cross broadcast our shows and whatever. And I really love those ladies.
Yeah, we had a great relationship with them.
Yeah, it was really terrific. So one day, Alexis decided for whatever reason.
Oh, I remember the reason.
Oh, what was her reason?
The reason was it was a protest because the bathrooms at the facility were so disgusting that we basically couldn't stand it. There was a woman who was constantly peeing on the toilets. It was nasty, those bathrooms. They were disgusting. And as a protest, Alexis kidnapped Mongo.
So you're saying there was pussy juice there in the bathroom?
Possibly. All I know is it was disgusting. And so she kidnapped the dog and then
Yeah.
she left a note that said, if you clean these fucking bathrooms, we'll bring the dog back. And what do you think the facility did?
They did not clean the bathroom and the dog never came back.
That's right.
But Alexis did like tuck the dog under her arm and walk out. And
Yeah,
she
she
did
just walked
say,
out. No one stopped her.
no, because she thought somebody would, like
Right.
the security or something. But she got downstairs with the dog under her arm, and the security person like opened the gate for her so that she would have plenty of space, so she wouldn't have to go through a turnstile.
Now, keep in mind, these are the same security people who, when a toaster went missing from the kitchen, like got on the security cameras and tracked that shit down. But Mongo, the company mascot, who cares?
Just walked right out the door. So the dog was in Alexis's apartment for some period of time.
A New York City apartment. Now, granted, she's a rich
Right.
lady and her apartment's not tiny, but it's still not big.
As somebody who has had this dog for a while, he takes up a lot of space.
A lot of space.
There's not like convenient places for him to go. So
No.
Alexis, tired of having him and Martha was doing a convention at the Jacob Javits Convention Center, and they had a bunch of vendor booths and
Mhm.
everything. And Alexis and Jennifer did their show from the convention, so
Right.
they came down, and Alexis brought the dog in the hopes of finding it a good home. She was tired of having it in her
She was
apartment. And
ready to adopt it out.
yeah, somebody is going to take this dog off my hands at the Martha Stewart convention where listeners of the show are there and everything. So I was dating Sean at the time, and Sean was really into Martha and Jennifer and Alexis, and he like home remodels and everything. He, very crafty like that. And so when he was hanging out there, and when Alexis was like, "I got to get rid of this dog," Sean was like, "I want it," and he had driven into the city, so he took it back to his place out on Long Island. And
Where it lived for a good long time.
for years, Sean had it for years, and then and we broke up, and he still had it. And then years later, because we're still in contact, everything. He is married to someone else. They're very happy, happily ever after for them. But we still are, we're connected in social media.
Right.
We're still in contact. And a few years ago, I mean, now, I mean, it's whatever, probably 12 years, but a long time. A few years ago, he was like, I'm remodeling the house. I still have this dog. I can't keep the dog. Take the dog. And or I'm throwing it away, basically. And I was like, all right, fine, I will take the dog. So I now have the dog, and I have had it ever since. And I feel like I could like contact Alexis and be like, Alexis, come and pick up your dog. And she will probably be like, what dog?
She's
I
not
don't
going to remember.
even remember, but I still have it. It's still here. So anyway, but he has a hat
What
on.
you should do is have Katie take it and put it back on the piano at Sirius.
Oh my God. They'll be like, what
Return
the
it.
fuck is this?
After 20 years, just return this dumb dog.
Here's the problem. It was so long ago because that dog has been missing for 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
20 years, because I think this happened in like 2004.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it was really early
Yeah.
on.
That dog has been gone from there for 20 years. It's 20 years later. There isn't anybody who is still there who remembers this dog.
Oh, yes, there is.
Who? Started after that dog.
Yeah, you know.
Howard started after that dog.
But like Jeremy would remember that dog.
Maybe.
No, there's no maybe. He 100% would. There are people
so
still there.
One person. So you're saying
No, there are more people. Suzanne would recognize that dog. There are people who are still there, Derek, that were there in the beginning.
yeah, you probably
Not a lot, but there
No.
are people.
Fewer than there are episodes of this YouTube show.
I could keep listing people who would recognize it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you will really struggle to get to 8.
Maybe.
It was a long time. 20 years is a long time.
It was a long time ago. I'm not denying that, Derek.
Anyway, he's still here. So I'm just saying to the handful of people who are left at the old facility, if you want this dog back,
come and get it.
He is yours. I would even drive it into the city, honestly, if somebody wants it. Like, you don't have to go out of your way. But he's gigantic. He takes up too much space. I can't keep this forever.
You need a roommate like him. He just to keep you company, Derek.
I don't know about that. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we already
and you said we were supposed to go short. Way to go.
I know. We already have a problem with how long these are. So we're going to have to burn through all of our
We haven't even hit any of our topics. Not even one of the
not
three.
Not even one.
And how many minutes have we already been talking? Jesus Christ. All right. We're going to make this fast. Go.
Okay.
Question of the day.
How old were you when you gave up on your dreams, or are you still reaching for them?
Oh my God, that is a horrible question. Gave up on your dreams. I mean, I guess some people do. My dream has always been to be a rock star. I feel like in some ways I've settled a bit on radio star, but there is still a part of me that dreams of rock star. So I don't know that I've given up on it. I've maybe just not made it my top priority. So maybe when I go to Nashville, I'm going to say I'll never give up on my dream, Derek.
I will just say that so many of my dreams have come true in my life.
Right.
There are very few things that have not gone my way, and I try not to be bitter about the things that didn't happen that I wanted, because so many of the things that I wanted have
Did
happened.
go.
And
Yeah.
it feels greedy. Honestly, sometimes when I get down about the things I don't have, I feel really greedy about
Right.
how many lucky breaks I've had, how good things have been. Got this fucking dog to keep me company. My life is fine. So I don't want to say that I gave up on my dreams, but I think that what is an important lesson is to continue to dream and let your dreams evolve. Because
Yeah.
you'll have a different dream when you're 8 years old than you will when you are 28 years old
Sure.
or 68 years old. But I think you should always have goals. You should always have dreams, and that those goals and dreams can change over time. Because
Hmm.
you change, the world changes, your dreams should change. So I would say I have never given up on my dreams. And I had this step grandmother, Jean Har, who became a internet dancing sensation in her 90s, thanks to my brother Adam. And she came to New York to do the Anderson Cooper show, and she was in New York, and she was 91, I think, at that point, or 92. And she came to visit New York, and she was staying in this gorgeous apartment and that overlooked Central Park. And she said, "Oh, I really like it here. Maybe I'll live here someday." And I just thought, you're 92. How many some days do you think you have left? But I think the reason that she lived into her 90s was because
She
she
looked to the
still had
future.
some days. She
Hmm.
was still was thinking, you know what? I like New York City. Maybe I should move to New York. And it did not
Someday.
seem unreasonable to her as a
Sure.
92-year-old woman who, by the way, lived alone, like lived after her husband died, like lived alone and independently until the end.
Mm.
So it was not a thing to her of like, oh, I don't know if I could live in another place. She's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
I
think
like
that
that.
that's the goal there. Okay.
Okay.
So never give up on your dreams. Let your dreams evolve. All
Well,
right.
you know what? This is the perfect segue, Derek, into my story that
Cover.
that I wanted to cover. So here's my story. It's a story about Scarlett Johansson. Now, I don't know if you do this, Derek, but Scarlett Johansson has been dreaming of a way to enter into, are you ready? The Jurassic World franchise.
Yes.
This has like been a dream for her for over 10 years. And it finally it has happened. She made her dream come true, and so she is going to be in the franchise, and she is super excited about it. But again, this is a perfect example of having a dream. I want to be a part of something, this thing, and then seeing that dream to reality. Even though, like back after Jurassic World 3, I think which I think was in like 2001, from 2001 until 2015 there weren't any Jurassic Park movies at all,
Right.
so she
She
could have
thought
just,
she missed her window.
yeah, she thought, oh, I'll never get to be in a Jurassic Park movie. But in 2015 that all changed, and then bing bang boom, Scarlett Johansson in has entered the Jurassic World franchise.
Now, do we know if she has a goal to be like eaten by a dinosaur? Does she want to live? Because sometimes people want to be in these movies because they want like a
Yeah.
super gruesome dinosaur death or
So here's what she had to say. I'll quote her. She said, "I've been trying to get into this franchise in any possible way for 10 years. I'm like, if I'll die in the first 5 minutes, I could get eaten by whatever. I'll do the craft service. I'll do anything for it." That's what she had to say about it. So there you go.
I do love the idea of her being like
Mm-hmm.
in the first 10 minutes of the movie and then getting eaten but being on the poster and like, oh, I'm here,
Oh yeah,
Scarlett Johansson. Oh, she died right away. Oh,
I
burn.
love that. It's kind of like in the Scream movies with
That's right.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Spoiler alert. All
Mm.
right. Well, you know what? I do have a story.
Okay. See how
It,
quick mine was, by the way? Tied in quick.
very, very
Bam.
quick.
Thank
So
you.
anyway, so this is not a story that for the show from the show, but we have talked on the show about me wanting to go on Jeopardy, Old Man Questions.
Oh, yes.
And so one of the things that is really important to me in going on Jeopardy is what story will you tell? Because they have a segment on Jeopardy where you
It's like a get to know you
tell a
thing.
story.
Yeah.
So The problem, though, is that Ken Jennings, who hosts Jeopardy, is obsessed with people telling stories about having met Merv Griffin, the creator of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And I do have an A+ story of meeting Merv Griffin. So I kind of feel honor bound. Like if I go on the show, I have to tell the story
That he's gonna like.
that Ken Jennings is going to like about meeting Merv Griffin, the creator of Jeopardy. But the story that I want to tell, because there's a whole thing on Jeopardy when they are introducing the contestant stands there and you kind of have to like smile or wave or do like something, right? You have to do like a thing, a gesture thing, whatever. And then you have your signature, whatever. I have my A+ signature, that'll be fine. And then, but I thought like, oh, I know what gesture I want to do, and it is
Is it this
related.
one?
No, it is
This one.
related to Scarlett. It is
No.
tangentially related to Scarlett Johansson. No.
Oh, okay. So this
So
one.
anyway, but I would want to do the gesture and then explain the gesture during the story because it is about Scarlett Johansson's husband, Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
So working in New York City, you walk around the city all the time, and sometimes you see celebrities like on the subway or walking around or whatever. And what's great about New York is most of the tourists are looking up and looking around. They're not looking.
They're completely unaware.
They're not looking at people walking by, and most New Yorkers are like aggressively not looking at people. So it's if you're a celebrity, New York City is a great place because no one's looking at you because there's too many people going around and the tourists are looking up and trying to look at traffic and whatever else. It's very distracting. So, but when I was in the city, I kept seeing Colin Jost on the street.
I mean, we work very close to where he works. So that makes sense.
Except I didn't see him in Rockefeller Center near SNL. I was seeing him in other parts of Manhattan.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Not in the same, it wasn't like I kept seeing him on the same corner, right? Like, oh, he obviously lives around the corner, or this is his favorite coffee shop or whatever. I was seeing him in different parts of the city, but I kept seeing him.
Okay.
And like the third time that I saw him on the street, I was like, oh my God. Because I would see him and then he would like see that I saw him and I would keep going. And I didn't want to like have it be weird, but at a certain point, even in a big city like New York, when you see the same person a couple of times, you start to notice when you're seeing the same person,
right,
like in the neighborhood or whatever. And because it's like, oh, this is a person who's regularly in this neighborhood. If you're a celebrity, you're probably thinking, oh my God, are there stalkers around, whatever. So if you start seeing the same person more than once, you might, like your danger thing might go up. So the third time I saw Colin Jost, I thought I have to signal to him that
you're cool.
That I know what's happening, that we keep seeing each other on the street.
Right.
But I also want him to know that I am a non-threatening homosexual and that I am not a stalker. And so this is what I did. As Colin Jost was walking past me, I went like this, which is absolutely the most ridiculous hand gesture. Like, why? What is that? What is that?
Gay. That's gay. Gay.
But immediately, if you see someone do that, you're going to think, okay, this person is a non-threatening person. So if I go on...
Or he's crazy.
Or crazy. So if I go on Jeopardy, when they can't span through the thing, Derek Hartley, a radio show host from New York.
No.
Yes, because then I could tell my story could be telling the Colin Jost story. But I think what I'll do is if I go on Jeopardy, I have to tell the Merv Griffin story. But then if I win, which I have a very low chance of winning, but if I win, I will do the gesture in the second episode and then tell the Colin Jost story as the second episode story.
And this, by the way, this story is why these episodes go so long. That was the longest story for this.
But it was all for a bit. It was for the physical comedy bit. You can't get this on our radio show. Finally, our What's Hot About segment. Oh, we also have a viewer feedback question. But what's hot about? So a twist this time, usually it is a city or a destination. But in this case, I thought we would talk about what's hot about Virgin Voyages.
Oh, good one.
This is the Richard Branson cruise line. It's relatively new. It just was launching during the pandemic. So a lot of people haven't been on a Virgin Voyages cruise yet. But we have more than once. We actually we booked so many people on Virgin Voyages cruises that we're actually top 100 Virgin people 2 years in a row. We'll see if we make it a third year this year because it's growing, so there's a lot of competition. But
Right.
we love the Virgin experience. If you talk to other gay people, they will tell you like, "Oh my God, I love Virgin. It's so
Pretty
gay."
awesome.
It's very LGBTQ friendly. So I thought since it is something that a lot of people haven't experienced, maybe they're thinking about trying it, we would talk about what's hot about Virgin Voyages.
Okay, I'll start. What's hot about Virgin Voyages? My favorite thing is actually the Happenings cast, which is a group of crew members who are like the nightlife director, the games, the magician. Like they have all these different jobs, and they're really fun. They're really young, and they tend to be really fucking hot. And super gay friendly. A lot of them are gay. Like there's a drag queen one, the diva. But they're really, really fun, and interacting with them and participating in the various events that they host really makes for a pretty exceptional experience on the Virgin Voyages. They do a lot of things that other cruise lines just don't do. And I really loved it. And then I would say the other giant selling point is no fucking kids.
Yeah.
So it's an adults only cruise line, which means everything skews more adult. Everything's sexier, more entertainment and nightlife focused. Really, really fun. I think you should go with the attitude of being like young and flirty and sexy and fun, and you're gonna have the fucking time of your life. I love Virgin Voyages. I look forward to every single sailing we do with them. They might be my favorite cruise line. The only thing I don't love, and this is where some people disagree with me, I'm not a huge, huge fan of the food on board. I mean, I like it. It's good, but it's not my favorite food. My favorite food will be NCL forever. Just because I like their fine dining experience. But everything else about the cruise experience for me is Virgin. It is top notch. You can even get a tattoo on the ship. I might have done that.
On the food thing, I think so they do have like a Norwegian, which is really for our cruise groups that we do. Norwegian is our home cruise line.
Yeah.
Because I think it just offers the best all around. We have a diverse group of listeners and people who go on the cruises with us and everything. And what I like about Norwegian is it's a good all around player. It's good value for the money. And they have lots of different cabin styles for different travelers. So, and like the food is it's solid. Like everything about it is sort of like upper mid tier, right?
Yep.
Good value, good quality, casual. It really hits a lot of sweet spots for it. But on the food thing, I think to your point, I really like the food on Virgin, but I think the difference is that the all of the food is included on Virgin. Norwegian has some free options and then
Right.
some premium
Premium.
options. And the premium options are quite good. They are very, very good, but they
Yes.
are a premium option. Virgin, all the food is included. And so I think that their included food, as included food, is better than Norwegian's included food.
Yeah.
But to Romaine's point, they're not doing a other premium experience where you're really
Yeah.
getting like a next level of a thing. But I think for all included food, Virgin is great. And it has a great diversity of foods that I really like on board. For me, what I like about what's hot about Virgin Voyages is it feels the most like a gay cruise that is not a
Oh,
gay cruise.
yeah. I mean, half the staff has got to be gay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They are super gay friendly.
But it's just a very affirming, welcoming
Yeah.
space. I don't know any LGBTQ people who would go on the cruise and think, oh, I don't know if this is really right for me. I don't know if we can hold hands on deck or anything like that. It's like,
Oh yeah,
nope.
you can do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, you can do all that. It really is a really affirming space like that. It also is designed to make 50-year-olds feel like 30-year-olds.
Oh, and it does. Yeah.
It feels young. It feels younger skewing. It is just fun and feels young. But it is very Gen X. There are arcade games and 90s boy band workouts and cereal bar, Rice Krispie treats kind of
Yeah,
a
it's
thing on
it's
board.
good.
Like
It's good.
it's really fun. It feels a bit like a Gen X summer camp with alcohol, kind of a vibe. And so if that's you, if you are a sort of 35 to 60-year-old person, you would probably have a really good time on Virgin because, yeah, the no kids and the Gen X
It's great. Just do
vibe
it.
is great. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just do it. And if you want to find out how to travel with us, go to dnrtravel.com and look at our upcoming adventures and find a cruise or a Virgin Voyages cruise that's right for you. Trust me, you're going to want to do it.
Yeah, and if you go to dnrtravel.com, you can just click the Let's Go Book link. We have a Virgin page where I lay out sort of what I like, don't like about Virgin. And you can click that link right there, the Let's Go Book link, and you can explore the cruises. You can even book directly through that. It will still be through us, so we can still help you out with your reservation and all that kind of stuff. But Virgin's terrific. It's not a paid advertisement,
No,
not
we
a
just
paid
love them.
sponsorship. It's just, look, we love it. It's great. And
Yeah.
we think you'll love it too. Okay, great. And then finally, our viewer feedback or question. This is from Richard Romaine.
Okay.
Richard asks, "Hey Derek, do you want to go on a date?"
Well, do you?
Well, I don't know. Who's asking? Is Richard asking?
I mean, it sounds
Um,
like Richard's asking you out on a date, Derek.
maybe.
Ready to mingle? Come on,
No.
Pringle. Go out on a date.
Well, first of all, dating is horrible.
Yeah, but you never
So
know. You might find love.
that is true. But yeah, dating in general is pretty terrible. So I will have to give this a thought because I don't like dating, but I probably should get out more.
You're so ridiculous.
Am I?
Uh-huh.
Or am I just spewing
Ridiculous.
here?
Yes, you're
You know what?
ridiculous.
I already have a date. He loves cuddles. I don't know what you want from me. It's a dog. It's a stuffed dog.
I know what I want for you to
Cat.
wrap this shit up because it's time to go. We've been doing this too long.
I agree. All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Summer Session. Remember to like this episode, comment below. You can let us know if you think I should go on a date with Richard or not,
You
or
should.
if I already have a long-term relationship here with this stuffed animal that has been here too long. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Be sure to turn on the notifications so that when we have new content that we posted, you can see it for yourself. And subscribe to our live daily radio show at dnrstudios.com. These kind of antics, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. You
What
don't,
could you possibly want?
yeah, you don't have to listen to all of it. You can just listen to as much as you can stand.
Listen to all of it. It's great. Every minute.
2 hours a day, 5 days a week is a lot for people.
Used to be
No
longer.
commercials. It's all right through.
Yeah.
But use discount code 2024 at dnrstudios.com to try the show for free. And you can download our free DNR Cast app so that you can listen to our show anytime, anywhere. And it's available in the Google Play Store and in the Apple App Store. And you can just try our show for free. Why not?
Hey, you might
What's
like
the
it.
worst thing that could happen? You could end up
You.
on a date with Derek.